Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it take a swim.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I am your co-host, Ted Jenkins. Sitting with my co-host today, Lee Heisman, who's the CEO of Savant. We're joined by our fabulous guests today that you need to listen to their entire broadcast on shrimptankpodcast.com. They have a firm, Galeano Lille in Villegas. This is Javier and Carlos today, who are the managing partners in the firm. We talked all today. You have to listen to this broadcast at shrimptankpodcast.com because we talked about taxes, which is the #1 thing that all business owners want to talk about. You can always download us on iTunes and listen to us in the car as well.
Carlos and Javier, you know, it was an amazing show, and I know I learned a lot on the show. You know, people might listen to this podcast and wonder, so it's an accounting firm. What makes them unique? What really strikes us to use their firm? And I really thought some of the stuff that made you guys unique, I wanted you to share.
Well, I think one of it is the fact that we have resources overseas to be able to support our operation. We strive to provide an excellent client experience, and that we try to deliver our work in that same fashion.
You know, guys, I've seen a lot of business owners, and it seems to me that for the startup entrepreneur that may be watching today, that one-man, one-woman shop, that one of the biggest mistakes they make is not having a set of books. And do you find that, and what advice would you give to the entrepreneur watching today?
Yes, I think the lack of record keeping is one of the major mistakes a small business owner or entrepreneur can do when they open their own business, because they may think saving a couple of bucks and not hiring a specialized accountant in a specific industry may save in a couple of bucks, but don't having a good set of records may they may face a different. When they go to the IRS and don't have it, they may be facing a different situation.
It'll be more expensive later on.
Yeah. By not having those books.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Record keeping is going to give you the information you need to run your business. Business owners tend to believe that we can run the business from our head. And that's somewhat accurate, but the reality is that if nothing else, just to prove you're right, you need to have your numbers.
Another big mistake, Ted, that the clients or business owners tend to do is mixing what is an employee and what is an independent contractor. By law, there is no choice how to treat an employee or independent contractor. There is actually a set of tests that you have to comply in order to classify a person as an employee or independent contractor. That is one of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs and business owners do, because it can also be challenged in an IRS audit.
Well, you know, so for I think one of the larger accounting firms in town, and I've known GLLV for some time now, and not only are you one of the only successful bilingual firms and you have support overseas, you know, what other advice can you give? You talked about the 1099, and you talked about the full-time employee, and you talked about some things that business owners can look out for, and you talked about a lot of that on the show. But what other pieces of advice can you give business owners, some things for them to watch out as they run their business?
Be reasonable. I think that's part of any other side of business. Just be reasonable as far as your deductions and as far as your accounting records. And then the other thing is, I'm not telling people to go to accounting school and become an accountant, but do understand that accounting is key to your business. Ultimately, that's going to tell you where you are, and it's going to tell you if you can get where you want to get. Ultimately, it's going to give you the data and the resources, and it's what you're going to need to go to the bank to get financing. It's going to be able to let you get a partner or shareholder or any of the many different ways of obtaining financing.
One of my advices to business owners or entrepreneurs are, I consider one of the most important is you have to know your numbers. You have to know your ratio. You have to know the industry you are in, because at the end of the day, you need to know who are your competitors, what are the prices your competitors are putting their prices. Then it's really important that you know what the numbers are made up in order to make good decisions or have making good decisions to be able to be profitable.
Well, guys, before we wrap up here, for the people that are watching the program today, if they only had 2 days to spend in Colombia, where should they go?
Cartagena is going to be your top destination. And if you're flying from Atlanta, Delta has a nonstop flight into Cartagena, depending on the time of the year, once or 3 times a week.
Is that right?
It's absolutely
about a 4-hour
right.
flight?
It's about a 3.5-hour flight, yeah.
3.5 hours?
Yeah, and it's a beautiful
Do
city.
you agree, Javier? Is that the place to go?
Well, there are other couple of places really good. You mentioned before, Medellin is a good, beautiful place. And also, the capital, Bogota, is a nice place.
Road trip, Ted, road trip.
Yeah, right. So I smell it right.
You can always come and visit our office in Barranquilla.
All right. Where's that? Where are we going there?
It's about an hour away from Cartagena.
All right.
Do they have the prepaid services we spoke of on the show?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that.
Okay, fair.
Haven't heard.
Okay.
As long as I get to go on a ferry ride, I'm all set. So, guys, for the people that are watching the post-show wrap-up today and they want to hire your accounting firm or learn more about what you do for clients, how can they learn more about the firm?
Go to our website, GLLVCPA.com. That's GLLVCPA.com.
Or you can call us at direct number, 678-291-6825.
And for entrepreneurs out there that didn't or you don't get to listen to the whole podcast, like Carlos said today, not having accounting in your business is like not putting gas in your car when you have to drive from point A to point B. So make sure no matter what you do that you've got a clean set of books, you hire a good accountant, and that way not only do you prepare yourself to minimize your taxation, but if you get audited by the IRS, you've got someone in your court. And that's the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.